Hi everyone.
Hi.
This is the story of us and how we come to be. Okay. So we met on the first day of Jessie Beth High.
In 10th grade.
10th grade.
Yeah.
Fourth period.
Third.
Fourth. It's kids class.
What did I have third?
Career ed. Well, I had career ed.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. We met 4th period in this kids class. I think it was, I want to say Arise 1.
Arise 1,
Yeah.
which is math, pretty much. Like,
Yeah, dealing with calculators.
Yeah. And we weren't even supposed to be in the same group.
Yeah.
It just happened.
It was a group of 4, and I happened to be with Angel and Matt Butler, and then somebody else was in our group, but
they got moved.
Yeah.
And the next person in line was me. So she really was digging me. Feeling my style.
It was funny because I didn't hear what the teacher said, and so I didn't know what his name was at the time, and so I was trying to look at his paper, and I swear it said James. So I was about to say James, but then he asked me a question, and then I asked later.
You heard Angel say my name.
Yeah. And then so that's when I knew, whew, thank goodness I didn't call him James, because I would have looked stupid.
But for all you guys that know me, that's how I got my name. Christopher Lucas Anthony James Goff. Yeah, then, so she was passing me around a paper with everyone's phone numbers on it, so she could call people for help with homework or whatever. I think she was just doing that to get my number.
Kinda. I mean, just in case I wasn't me, I never really listened, but just in case I needed help or I had a question, I would pass everybody's, or just get everybody's number and email address and, the AIM screen name. And, it just so happened that
Later that night,
I went on AIM and
I was on.
Yeah, and then I messaged him, and then I gave him my phone number.
And I called her.
Yeah, and then we talked a little bit for math, but
and it was pretty late.
Yeah.
It was maybe 9, 10.
About 9, yeah.
At night.
And then it was funny because I was like, I didn't really need help with the homework, but maybe I did just on one problem. But other than that,
we just started.
I just wanted to talk. Yeah.
Yeah, we started talking,
and since it was late, I accidentally fell asleep, and
I guess that's how comfortable we were together.
Yeah.
That you could fall asleep.
Yeah.
And with someone for the first time you're talking to on the phone.
And it was crazy too, because I think I knew that day that I liked you.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, I thought I might have slipped on the phone and said something like, I kind of like you, but whew, thank goodness I didn't.
She was talking gibberish though,
Yeah.
in her sleep.
About anvils and
yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, so we started liking each other. We could tell that we like each other.
Yeah.
And so John Tapia,
Mhm.
I guess he knew, she told him.
Okay, so I told my best friend John Tapia, there's this guy that I like, but don't do anything because I don't want to mess up anything. I just want to kind of take things slow. And then he was like, okay. And then...
So he brought me outside. He said, come walk me to the parking lot. So when he was walking, he was like, so what do you think about Steph? I was like, she's okay. No, I was like, yeah, I think I like her. And he was like, well, she likes you too. So
John.
Yeah. So I think that's when we confirmed that we liked each other. And so, what was it? So I asked her out.
Oh yeah.
And you said yes.
I said yes. And then I remember my mom would be like, "Oh, you shouldn't have a boyfriend. You should concentrate on school." But she didn't know I was with Chris. So okay, I didn't want to lie to her. So like 12 days after Chris like asked me to be his girlfriend,
She broke my heart.
I told him I had to break up so I wouldn't lie to my mom. And so we broke up, and then
I asked her out again a week later,
yeah.
and she said no. She shot me down.
But the only reason why I shot him down was because his 16th birthday, which I was invited to, he asked me to attend it. So I was like, okay, well I have to go there later because I had like confirmation class that day. And so I had my parents drop me off at his house, and yes, I had them drop me off because I didn't drive.
Teeny bopper.
Yeah. And I waited for them to leave, and then I rang the doorbell, and then like I saw Chris, but I saw a whole bunch of his friends like right behind him, and I told Chris to come outside, and then I knew his friends were kind of like, what's going on? I sang happy birthday to him, and then I asked him to be my boyfriend.
I said no.
I was like,
no girl is gonna ask me out. So I brought her upstairs to my bedroom.
Later, as like throughout the party, you know,
maybe like
he was
2
showing
hours
me
later.
he was showing me like a tour of the house. Like I got to see because they just moved in, so.
And then I was into programming calculators at the time, you know, the TI-83s, because of our RISE class.
Yeah.
So I programmed a little message for her to read, and I showed it to her, and it said something like, "Here's a rose for a pretty girl," and there was a picture of a rose, and then at the end of the message it said, "Turn around," and when she turned around,
he presented a ring and asked me to be his girlfriend. Yes, I just settled and said yes because I was tired of like this battle of like, yes, no, will you be my girlfriend? No, yes.
if she didn't say yes, we would probably be to this day. We would still back and forth.
It's kind of like, you hang up. Why do you hang up? Okay,
Yeah,
we'll both hang up.
No, so we had our rough times though during high school, and we
did break up for
for a couple months at the end of high school, but our first year of college, I had my wisdom teeth.
Because he had 6 wisdom teeth.
You don't have to say. Okay, so I had 6 wisdom teeth. It's not that big of a deal. And I had to get my top ones removed. So I asked my best friend, Steph, to take care of me, you know, to take me to my appointment and take care of me afterwards.
And it was funny because when he was done at his appointment, when I went to pick him up, the lady over there said, "Oh, are you picking up your brother?" And I was like, "No, I'm just picking up my friend." So I picked him up, and then I brought him back to his house, and then.
And I was knocked out for most of this, so.
Yeah, and I made him soup, and he slept upstairs, and then I watched Shrek on DVD because that came out at the time. And I got really bored watching Shrek, so I went upstairs to check on him to make sure he was okay. And then he was like somewhat sleeping, kind of awake. And then I guess he heard me and he woke up. And we just started talking. And we just started talking about how like he appreciated me, like taking care of him, and how we both missed each other. And
I realized that it was a big mistake, that we should have been together all along.
Yeah.
That we were really meant to be together.
Yeah.
So I asked her to be
No, you didn't.
I didn't? Okay.
No, I didn't.
Okay,
I didn't even ask you. It was. I think
was just a mutual thing.
Yeah, we got over asking each other. But yeah, it was a mutual thing, and ever since then we've been together.
Yeah, that's how we've come to be.
Yeah. So, and we've been happy ever since then.